Carl's saying right now the car a little bit too free, but not a big deal. So Bob Osborne not making too many adjustments with that car. But Carl is already sizing up his competition. We heard him talk about it just a couple laps ago.
29's using the apron over there. Left side's below the yellow line. It runs like a bear around the bottom here, so we'll see what happens.
The last driver to sweep a weekend here at Michigan, winning a nationwide race on Saturday and a cup race on Sunday. Carl Edwards did it 3 years ago, and of course yesterday afternoon he beat his teammate Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in nationwide competition here at Michigan.
And he's talking about using the apron, and why they're doing that, there's actually a lot of grip on the apron if you run down like you go down in the corner and you get down underneath that white line. But it doesn't stay there all day. You can get away with it for a little while, but the more you run on it, the more you take that grip away, and then you got to move back up eventually anyway.
Yeah, but that's and you said it in the opening, and we're watching it right here. That's the best part about this racetrack. You can run in a place and it goes away. You just go find you another place to run. Now you may not be as fast, but you can find a comfortable place to run, and that's why this race is a funny race. You get guys that'll check out, just like we're seeing Biffle here at the beginning, but by the end of the race there may be somebody else who's found a better groove.
You saw the numbers on the Roush Fenway organization. Right behind Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr. up to 6th. He's been impressive, Chris.
Yeah, early on we heard Dale say that the car was just dirt track and loose around here, so Steve Letarte made some changes on that first caution. In the second run, Dale ran for about 10 laps, said the car was pretty good, but then it started getting really loose again, so Steve Letarte said, be patient, buddy, we have 175 laps to go. On that next caution, came in, made some big wedge adjustments. Now Dale's saying the car is pretty tight, but as you can see, he's running up to 6, so that car might be tight, but it's fast.
And we'll see how things progress. We are halfway through a fuel run. Greg Biffle leading at Michigan in search of his 3rd win at the track. NASCAR.com's ultimate tailgating vehicle is presented in part by Coors Light. Go to NASCAR.com/UTV and enter for a chance to win this tricked out tailgate machine and find out where it will travel this summer. Visit NASCAR.com/UTV and get started. I saw it yesterday. It is as advertised. An impressive machine.
Hey,
you were living in it for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, may still be living in it tonight. You know what I mean? I may just go straight. Look, couple of refrigerators, couple of taps, 3 TVs, plasma screen TVs, nice little bathroom, nice
3
little
plasma screen TVs.
Yes, they got it going on, dude.
Oh.
Yeah,
very nice.
You can watch it all. You can watch not only the Cup race, you could watch the ARCA race on it.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
So the fans have voted at NASCAR.com/power rankings, and today's Pizza Hut fan favorite driver is Dale Earnhardt Jr. And we will keep an eye on the 88 all afternoon long. And for all you Dale Jr. fans, he was great early in the run, worked his way to 6th after starting outside the top 10 today. But while we were away, Brian Vickers drove by. The 88 currently scored in the 7th position. And the bottom line is, if you're going to be good at Michigan, you have to have it, not on the short run, on the long run.
More on the long runs, because you run so long under green flags here. So you want your car to be really, really good on that last 10 laps before a pit stop.
And I'm not sure that he's dropping back or if he's looking for another line. He's been running so low, and now he's moved to the top.
How about a new leader? Matt Kenseth was reeling in his teammate, and now he has gone by. Greg Biffle kicked back to 2nd. Kenseth, the new man out front, Marty.
Yes, indeed, and he did ask Greg Biffle on the radio, can I lead a lap? And then the spotter, Mike Callowell, said, just pass him and lead a lap anyway. I think the 17 a little bit faster here in this section of the run than Matt Kenseth, or than Greg Biffle, but you'll see him maybe give the lead back here to his teammate.
He sure did.
Nothing like teamwork and bonus points, right? Matt goes up and gets a point for leading a lap, and now he settles back into the 2nd position. A win would go a long way for Greg Biffle today. Biffle with a victory would put himself in a much better position when you look at the chase standings. He enters today's race 14th without a victory. And Ralph,
Well, there was another reason why Biffle wanted him to go around as well. He had a little trash on the grill, and so by getting Kenseth around the front, changes that airflow in the front of the car, helps kind of suck that paper out of there. And as you guys know, Wally and Kyle, there can be a lot of trash floating in the air here in Michigan.
Yeah, it hasn't been as bad as we've seen in the past here at Michigan, but you're right, Ralph. I mean, it almost looks like there's confetti on the racetrack sometimes at this race. And there's not much openings anyway, so if you get anything that blocks that radiator, your temperature will fly up.
It's been a while since these drivers have been on pit road. Try 30 laps. They'll likely be pitting under green when we return.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Michigan International Speedway is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink Possible. By DirecTV. Only DirecTV gets you the latest box office hits first, months before Netflix. Call 1-800-DirecTV. By Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of the military, veterans, and their families.
Green flag pit stops underway at Michigan. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
No changes in the last stop for Kyle Busch. He felt like they might have lost the handle of the racetrack as it continued to change. Air pressure change on this stop. The car was both tight and loose. Busch the elder, his brother, the double deuce. His car extremely tight. Air pressure change for Busch. Ralph?
The 24 Jeff Gordon was very, very loose, so they make a big chassis adjustment to him. 4 tires and fuel, and he'll be back at it underway. Marty.
Now, Ralph Matt Kenseth said his car was much better, just a little bit loose on that run. It'll be a very small air pressure adjustment. Ran second for much of that run, but did lead the one lap when he went around his teammate. Ralph?
Marty, it's just one round in the left rear chassis adjustment on the 16. That's the only adjustment they're making to the car outside of 4 tires and fuel, Chris.
Carl Edwards still saying the car just a little bit tight, but not big changes down here. Just a small air pressure change, 4 tires and fuel. 88 Dale Earnhardt Jr. Steve Letarte was hoping to stretch it to lap 67, but they came in early. That car's still a little bit tight, just making an air pressure change.
Teams were on pit road under caution at lap 28, and this cycle of green flag pit stops began at lap 60.
Well, listen, get a good read on what you are using. This last run is probably the best gauge that they've seen as far as what they need on fuel mileage.
Yeah, and it's today. Yeah. Today it is. You know, I think you all come into a race thinking this is what I can do, this is what I can get. We've seen guys run and lead as we see the 18 and the 17 race here right behind. The 18 had a great pit stop to make up that much ground on these guys.
How many times have we seen that this year?
He is a great driver on his in lap and his out lap to be able to make up that time in that space. Not necessarily on pit road always, but the pit crew is always there and always solid. But Kyle Busch gets in and out as good as anybody else on the lap, on the racetrack. Not necessarily on pit road. Not saying he's speeding. That's not what I'm saying. But he does a good job.
The lead for Greg Biffle prior to the pit stops was 0.3 of a second. And as you can see, that advantage is gone. Kenseth and Kyle Busch both right there. Kyle sneaking around Matt Kenseth for the runner-up spot. This is something we saw here a lot a year ago. Guys battling for position, and it may change lap after lap, but you just can't get away from people here.
Yeah, but Kyle's car looks like it, out of these 3 cars, his car looks like it's the best working everywhere. Where a couple of these guys are running this, they got to find a spot. Kyle can run in the bottom, he can run on the top, he can run right in the middle. I mean, his car right now, I think, is handling better than anybody up front.
He picked up a half a second in that cycle of stops, as you see here. Right side even, a little quicker on the left side and also on the jack, and that's why Kyle Busch has worked his way into second in the running order.
Yeah, but like Kyle said, a lot it has to do with cone to cone.
Yes.
You know, getting to the cone at pit entrance, and then once you get to the cone when you leave is getting back up to speed. That's where the time is made.
Yeah, and what I mean by that, and for people, if you time the guy when he crosses the start-finish line, he runs around the racetrack green, comes down pit road, pits, goes back out and comes back to the green flag, or back to the start-finish line. That's an in and out lap, and that's where Kyle Busch is golden.
Ralph?
you know, a lot of that first quarter of the race also, guys, was about just finding out what the other guys were doing. As the conversations were going back and forth on the radio with Greg Biffle,